This video is a documentary made by Upcomer, which is a new journalist outlet made by the esports writer on Twitter. But they made a documentary about the Subathon. I've never seen it before. It doesn't have that many views. It only has 1,400 views. So let's take a look at it. Today, for the first time ever, we are going to do an uncapped Subathon. I'm not milking the Subathon. It came out today. When it
comes to drumming up hype on Twitch, few tactics are as tried and true as the marathon stream. From world first races and MMOs to charity events, marathon streams bring in high numbers of viewers and equally high amounts of money. But in March of 2021, Ludwig began a marathon that would be unlike anything Twitch had ever seen. Unlike similar streams that might run for a weekend, Ludwig would end up streaming continuously for an entire month, living his entire life on camera and shattering records in the process. Monk of speed. In over 7.
You know what? Aiden Ross was right. I'm a bit of a nerd. If the first thing I think of while running is Monk of Speed,
Ludwig went from a successful
maybe I deserved a little
to the
bullying.
biggest name on Twitch, as audiences watched him game, cook, exercise, and even sleep all on stream. This is the Ludwig Subathon.
Is it up motion? This was lost to time.
I was stuck in this bitch for 30 days. Today,
We fixed the fridge at the end of it, yeah. That's still out there on my deck. I haven't cleaned it up yet.
The Subathon first came into existence as a fallback
It's
plan
still there.
for
It's
a
been
more
2
limited
months.
marathon stream that fell through.
It doesn't rain in Los Angeles, all right? It can be there for a year and it will not change.
Originally, back in early March, Ludwig was planning to do a single 24-hour stream after returning home from a trip to see his family. Unfortunately, during this trip, Ludwig ended up being hospitalized with appendicitis.
But I farmed hella likes on Twitter. I'm such a bad boyfriend because the moment I found out that I had appendicitis and I got the surgery to fix it, the first thing I did was I tweeted to farm likes on Twitter before calling my girlfriend to tell her, hey, I'm all right and surgery went well. I'm such a bad boyfriend. All right.
After getting his appendix removed, he returned home, but was still in bad shape during the time the broadcast was originally scheduled.
In my defense, I did farm hella likes. I mean, 240K. That's peak for me. That's a lot of likes.
This led to him pushing the stream for a few days and altering the
Like, if
format.
I got 10K,
Instead
I
of
get
going
it,
for
but
24 hours,
240?
he would stream indefinitely, with the clock of remaining time fueled by Twitch subs. This technique wasn't novel. It's been used in the past by other streamers, but rarely resulted in anything longer than a day or two.
Wow, that is pretty
And Ludwig
true.
and his crew expected no different.
In that period of time, we kind of had our own predictions about what was going to end up happening with the
Bro, your beard is just the top of someone's head glued on your chin. That thing goes deep, Yeti. My God. Leave some for the
time
rest of
limit,
us.
basically based off of the longest stream he's ever had, or the most subs he's ever had in one day, that it'll be end in 2 days. We thought that was ridiculous. We thought that he was going to end up going like 4 days, 5 days. Our predictions ended up being a little bit off.
And so, on March 14th, the Subathon began.
Okay, so what actually happened is I said it would take 4,000 subs because during the elections, that was my most sub day ever, literally election day. And so I was like, if I do that again, I'll 4,000 subs, it'll go 24 hours.
In the beginning, Ludwig had set the timer amount for each sub at 20 seconds. It might not sound like much, but when considering the tens of thousands of potential donors watching his channel, 20 seconds can add up quickly. Within the first half hour of the stream, subscribers had managed to push the clock to over 7 hours.
I don't remember that.
A typical stream length for most large streamers, but before long, that would seem like rookie numbers.
This was a blur for me. I don't remember
shit. The first
shit.
day of the Subathon proceeded much like any other Ludwig stream. A fair bit of just chatting, chilling online, and some Pokemon gameplay to finish out the first day, starting what he called his Ludlocke run.
Did I start the Ludlocke the first day of the Subathon? Oh my God. Has it been 2 months? Oh my God. March 13th, April 13th. It's almost 3 months. Oh my God.
By late that first night,
I have people who've been banned for 90 days. I gotta finish his Ludlocke.
the timer had been pushed all the way to 18 hours, and Ludwig finally went to sleep for the first time on what would become something of a mascot for the Subathon.
So we have a Cars bed, and if it gets late, we're not gonna stay awake for 30 hours straight. We're gonna go to sleep on stream.
This marked the beginning of something that would define the after dark and early morning hours of the Subathon, the modcast. Instead of opting for a VOD or media playlist to fill his sleeping hours, Ludwig enlisted the help of a small team of channel mods to help liven up the content.
I had aspirations to make it bigger for, the chat to experience something while he was asleep. I didn't want it to be boring. I didn't want it to be quiet. I wanted things to be happening as much as I possibly could, and I wanted it
It's like the same speech Steve Jobs gave before he released the iPhone. I wanted to break what we think about when we think of nighttime.
This group would become the unsung heroes of the stream, keeping the chat entertained, engaged, and most importantly, donating.
Okay, unsung doesn't work when their name's literally on the screen with their cash tag half the time and they get paid 10K. I'm just saying that's not what the word unsung means. I'm just saying.
On that first night, the mods were able to push the clock past the 24-hour mark and somehow got a broadcast featuring a sleeping streamer to be the most viewed channel on Twitch.
30,000.5. We're so close. Come on.
Oh, it updated for me.
It's through. He's the most watched channel on Twitch. Oh my god. We did it. We got a sleeping man to the top most watched channel on Twitch. We did it. Let's go.
These late night modcasts would become a staple of the stream, making up a third of the overall event runtime and becoming something of a phenomenon in their own right. The late shift would include audience interaction, commentary on videos and movies, and even a mod tournament in Pokemon Showdown.
Did it hurt my feelings a little bit when I would go to bed and wake up with more viewers? Fuck no, I'd wake up to more viewers.
The antics and efforts of the mods were responsible for some of the biggest spikes of the Subathon, and unintentionally generated one of the biggest memes of the event. Ludwig waking up and realizing how high the timer had climbed.
Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. It's okay. Ludwig, go back to bed. Go back to bed.
Yeah, it is at 29 hours. That's a good point, chat. What the fuck?
After the first of these moments, it became abundantly clear that the time per sub needed to be changed, or else the subathon might never end. Ultimately, the decision was made to cut the amount of time subs added to the timer in half, but even that couldn't stop the juggernaut this event was already turning into.
What was the vote? I told you guys could half the timer, or what was the other option? No gifted subs. Yeah, that was the alternative. Chat voted on doing the half time, but you could have voted no gifted. I wonder how it would have turned out if we removed gifted.
Over the course of the next 3 days, the timer would continue to jump, partially fueled by moderator-run betting pools, where viewers could bet channel points on where the timer would end up at certain points in the day. This led to massive pushes to hit certain milestones.
Wait, that's...
no matter how high.
I didn't even know about that.
Then, in the wee hours of the morning of March 17th, the stream got its biggest spike in sub time thanks to a stream crash.
The stream crashed, and that timer adder, that element, changed from 10 to 15 seconds. So it was during one of the nights where that happened, and it was like 15 seconds added per sub, and it was a whole bunch of subs that got pushed for in that period of time where the betting was being used. So it was like this double whammy of extra time being added.
I got fucking
When Ludwig
scammed.
awoke the next morning, the timer had effectively doubled from where it had
Look at these fucking shills. Cash app.
been when he went to
Here's
bed.
my cash
But
tag.
because of the error, Ludwig took it upon himself to adjust the timer back to account for the extra 5 seconds per sub. This shaved roughly 18 hours off the stream.
It's been done.
Viewers refused to take this lying down. There was a massive donation pushback, skyrocketing the clock and creating a veritable wall of subs so thick that chat could barely get through. This organized revolt got the stream to what would ultimately be its highest point, with just over 3 days of stream time sitting on the clock. This push also led to another shifting of the subathon rules. The mods discontinued any betting, and gift subs got hard capped at 100 per account. Anyone that went over would receive a ban for the rest of the subathon. This was intended as a way to curtail people spending money irresponsibly, but also managed to catch a few well-meaning and high-profile people in the crossfire.
Oh, Dream. We have a gift cap, Dream. We have a gift cap, Dream. I can't know how much they have. You know, Dream could be broke these days. Dream could be broke.
Dream.
Is that 200?
We
We don't know how much Dream
It
made.
was, and I shot him. Let's go.
You
I got him.
did you ban him? Video
I
doll
did.
remove the ban. Video doll simping
forgot.
live.
Ban minimum 3,000 people in her goddamn career goes, I forget how to
That's
fucking ban.
By the morning of the 6th day, Ludwig and the mods had seemingly worked
Is it /BAN or BEN?
out all the kinks, and the stream fell into its status quo. While much of the stream remained rooted in the same content Ludwig had always created, there was also a huge new social aspect, as the Subathon began to be integrated into
DJHS!
more and more of Ludwig's everyday life.
Watch those knees. Watch these hands.
Along with his roommates,
I forgot I did that. That's funny.
Ludwig began broadcasting his daily workouts and meal preparation in the kitchen, things that may not have been his forte, but had their own charm and appeal all the same.
One day I went to the bathroom and I had a huge, long poop. Thick, hard, you know? There's not a lot of fiber in there. I feel that.
Talking about your boner?
No, poop. And I pooped so hard in college that I started to bleed.
Ooh, yeah, that happens.
And that's
Anal
what a
fissure.
period is, but
No.
for guys.
Thanks for sharing.
These aspects of the stream really tapped into the root of what was appealing about OG reality shows like Big Brother or The Real World, allowing viewers to take a peek into the personal life of one of their favorite personalities. And this blurring of the line between reality and entertainment was not lost on Ludwig and his crew.
Because it kind of came full circle when we watched Truman Show, like with the chat on stream. It was just like this weird, like absurd, joke of like everybody's basically watching the Truman Show unfold while we all group watch the Truman Show, and it was just like a very surreal moment.
But novelty can wear off fast, and as the stream approached the end of its second week, the momentum for subs had significantly died down. It was during this time that Ludwig took his first real break away from the camera. This left the stream in the hands of Ludwig's roommate, friend, and fellow streamer, Anthony Slime Bruno.
Alright, you ready for Uncle Slime?
This section of the stream, affectionately dubbed Slime Time, saw Slime fulfilling all of Ludwig's
Slime!
duties, including chat interaction and sleeping on stream. But the highlight was when he brought in the other residents of the house for a night of American Truck Simulator, complete with a big steering wheel controller and Bass Pro Shop hat, like any respectable trucker.
True.
It was just very spur of the moment. There was a lot of like it was just one of the, you know, when you're with your friends and everyone's laughing
sure.
and you feel like you're laughing for like an hour straight because everyone's just on and saying something funny. That's kind of what was happening, but we were live and it just felt good and all my friends were there, and it's something that I would be doing even if the cameras weren't on and even if there weren't people watching. So are we there yet? All right.
I watched none of Truckcast.
As it turned out, this break from what had become the norm was just the thing that viewers needed to reignite their excitement for the stream. And with Ludwig's return the following day, donations spiked once again, kicking the timer back into the double digits. Despite this momentary boost, it wasn't long before the timer began to wind down once again, and soon it looked as though the end was in sight, as the clock entered into the final hour.
The final hour literally became this undying zombie personification.
When did
of
the final
chat's
hour
unending
start?
desire to just watch Ludwig suffer in that period of time.
But the final hour turned out to be anything but, with the clock sitting under an hour for the next week. But
Yeah, it looks like 18 days in. Only 1 hour left on my subathon. I tweeted March 31st, which I think I tweeted day after there was actually 1 hour left. About 17 days into the
despite
subathon.
the constant subscriptions coming in to save the stream, the threat of it ending always loomed. And the growing stress of this existential dread brought out a toxic element in the fan base, who began targeting the donors keeping the stream alive. The true why of it can only be speculated. The viewers themselves claim it was for Ludwig, stating that they just wanted to let him get back to his life. Others think it
Kappa.
can be chalked up to the toxic nature of the internet. But for the mods, whose job it is to keep a finger on the pulse of chat, there seems to be something more to it. At this point, the stream had already cemented itself as a cultural phenomenon, not only within gaming circles, but pushing its way into the mainstream. The The Subathon meant something special to hundreds of thousands of people, and many desperately wanted to be there for its final moments. This desperation led to increasingly intense behavior, including fights and death threats leveled against donors, necessitating an abundance of bans. Soon it became clear that despite the low number on the timer, the stream wasn't going to be ending of its own accord anytime soon.
Chat was so bad. Like, I didn't deal with it because I just actually stopped reading chat. I unironically stopped reading chat. I forgot how to read chat for like a month after the subathon. I just forgot what it was like because I just didn't read it at all. It was terrible. Chat's back to being good now. I think chat's been chill. Beefing with Aiden Ross hasn't helped it over the past month, but generally chat's good now. But back, oh my God, it was terrible. If that was what my stream was like forever, I don't think I could do it. Which maybe sounds like I'm just trying to make good of what I have now, but if I booted live every day to 30K, 50K with that chat, oh, miserable.
Ludwig made the decision to hard cap the stream at 31 days, announcing that on April 13th, the endless stream that had captured the hearts and minds of
Dude, that's what we try to we try to get Lily Pichu to get a fucking ace. And we try to really sell it. So I blast packed
made
up
the decision
C-Log.
to hard cap the stream at
She fucking
31
updraft
days.
with her ult and missed every shot on me. She missed every shot, dude. How do you miss every
that on
knife?
April 13th, the endless stream that had captured the hearts and minds of Twitch would finally and definitively come to an end. With this announcement, the tone of chat began to stabilize and return to normal, secure in the knowledge of its end and unified by a new goal, beating the all-time active sub record.
The 31-day cap is in place. It's not really a cap. It's more so that I said multiple times if I hit 31 days, I would break Ninja's record for the most subs ever all time on Twitch. And if I ever hit that record, then I mean, like, I don't see it, you know, it could just repeat, I guess, but I don't care to do that. And so if it gets there, I mean, I'll go out with a bang.
The record at the time was held by Ninja with a whopping 269,000 subs. It felt like an entirely unscalable peak, with the next closest streamer pulling in less than half of that.
Do they think this is me? They know this is XQC, right?
But as the Ludwig stream edged closer and closer to its final day, the summit of that particular mountain came into view. On April 13th, Ludwig finally did away with subs adding to the timer, instead setting it to count down to the predetermined end of the stream, and adding a total subscriber count, allowing fans to see how close they truly were to their final goal. At 1:30 that afternoon, the moment of truth finally came.
We did it. We broke the record. This is us. I get all of the money. I just get so much of it. We did this though. You were here. This is your guys' record. My money. Your record though.
The last goal of the stream had finally been met.
Imagine if I boot up and I unironically go, this is us, boys. We did this. We did this. For fucking record that has my name on it, I get all the money for. God, I hate when people do that.
The record was broken, the month was over, and all there was left to do was take a victory lap, which the house did in destructive style. As a final farewell, Ludwig and his roommates demolished the car bed that had been the centerpiece of his stream for the last 31 days, an experience that proved to be nothing if not cathartic.
I was stuck in this bitch for 30 days. Today, I win the war.
I never slept better in my life than sleeping in that bed. I miss it to this day.
But as the stream drew to a close in its true final moments,
I slept like a
there was
baby
no more
in that bed.
spectacle, no more posturing, just raw, quiet emotion from.
I know we're getting emotional, but I never said this on stream. I had a wet dream in that car's bed during the subathon. Dead ass. That's what happens when you spend a month in front of a goddamn camera. I woke up and I was like, oh, I splooged in my pants like a 13-year-old. And so one morning I got up and I put my towel or my blanket around me. I just hobbled over to the bathroom.
As Ludwig's stream faded to black for the first time in a month, he shared one final salute with his audience.
Did I tell you guys already?
Twitch's greatest events.
I share too much with you guys. Sorry, this guy who made this video is having a very beautiful video with a very emotional part that I'm ruining by talking about splooge.
And with that, one of Twitch's greatest events had come to an end. Ludwig's Subathon managed to bring in over 282,000 subs, worth around $1.4 million before any taxes or payouts to Twitch. As he promised earlier in the stream, the new king of Twitch went on to donate over $365,000 to various charities, as well as another large sum to the mods that helped make the stream possible. Ludwig has made it clear that this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
And the reason I would never do one again is very simple. And it's the reason why you shouldn't make a sequel to the movie The Hangover. It'll never be as good as the original.
They fucked around and made a third one, though. They made a third one. They didn't know when to stop on the first one. They were like, double down. Hey, the sequel was aight, but what if we do a third one? If I do a second subathon, then I'll have to do a third one. I'll have to do a fourth one. I'll have to do a fifth one. Problem with doing a sequel to anything is you fall into the American loophole of doing it until people really just fucking want you to stop so desperately, or you lose funding.
And although he may never do another, his efforts are sure to inspire the next generation of creators, the same way that Ninja and Drake inspired him.
What if you got paid $1 million from Twitch? I don't care about money, bro. Look, I got fucking bands. You don't get it, bro. The money is nothing to me. I got fucking...
A generation that will always remember where they were when the Ludwig Subathon ruled the world.
Because I know one time I'll hit the stop streaming button for the last time ever. And it's not that far away even when we think about our whole life. It was nice to not have to hit the stop streaming button for just a brief period of my life. And so, as the clock winds, 2 minutes left. I got nothing left to say, but thank you.
Who actually cried at the end of the subathon? Did anyone actually cry? People talked about it, but I don't know if they actually did and stuff. Just curious. You did? Really? All you guys cried? Right there, officer! Yeah, right there, the pussies who cried. Right there, the bitches, the little baby boys in chat who cried. Right there, get them. Get them, sick them, sick them. Ah, ha, ha. I cried? Yeah, I cried more than anyone, I bet. I cried for like fucking 30 minutes. Sat here weeping beautifully. I cried so beautifully, though. You know, sometimes you cry and you're ugly crying. You're like... and it's gross. This was like I was like almost like just smiling, like, and just tears would fall. It was basically like I had Canadian and American Niagara Falls in my eyes. But I was like this. It was like Feel Strong Man. Feel Strong Man's a beautiful cry. Well, anyway, boys, this is a great video. It was a very accurate and well made recap of the subathon from Upcomer, who are friends of the stream. Now, I am going to take you down. You did use all of my footage. Can't just throw Ludwig in the top left and think it's all good. I'm gonna copyright strike that. Just so you know. I'm making the money from this shit, but hey, hell of an effort out there.